I'll say that again. Well, folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello, and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, the only republic within the republic that refuses to go independent. This republic wants to stay in the republic. Another wonderful Monday to perform this wonderful ritual. So let us all gather and make truth good. I think this last statement is very relevant for today's show, that let us all gather and make truth good. I met a couple of people who says, Nana, they're not so cry as saying, I mean, if you bring it in trees, a young empire. Literally, let's gather. Let's gather and make truth good. I mean, if you were to bring prayer into tree and you break it down, kobo empire. Kobo. So we're going to gather. Ampa is truth. Is good. So we're going to gather and make truth good. So today we really need to gather and make truth good. That's how come, when you change your language, you could just be saying things and then the true meaning of what you're saying is lost. Kobo empire. Gather, make truth good. Welcome, folks, to your favorite radio talk show that I call That's My Opinion. And our topic today is, where are the Christians? Folks, our topic today is, where are the Christians? If we are not going to let go of our religious practices, then we have to make it work for our good, folks. Folks, if we are predominantly Christians who won't let go of our faith, then for heaven's sake, can we make it reflect in the country at large? Because at the moment, I don't know how it is to describe us. At the moment, I would find it very difficult to put a finger on Ghana and say it is A, it is B, or it is C. I will struggle. I don't know, maybe some of you out there. And today is not just like an opinion, but consider it me thinking aloud. Folks, today, consider I was thinking aloud rather than having like a staunch opinion that I'm not going to budge or move on it. As a country, folks, we have more churches than schools. We have more churches than factories. We even have more churches than hospitals. Every corner, there's a church, either under a canopy, either using a school's classroom, people standing on the street corners with PA systems ready to ascend to heaven. All holy. And the new one is, the young, trendy ones with signs standing by the roadside reminding us that Jesus is coming by this evening or by early tomorrow morning. Jesus will be here. We'll have their signs reminding us. And please don't get me wrong. The enthusiasm with which they commit to the faith is commendable. The enthusiasm, the time and energy which is committed to the faith is commendable. Sometimes it even makes you feel that, you are falling, seriously short of the glory of God. So, folks, I'm saying, where then are the Christians? Those who don't miss church, speaking in tongues, falling and being filled with the Spirit, where are they? Oh boy. Because we see them every time, we hear them every time. And yet we are asking that, where are they? So far, most presidents have been Christians. Most presidents have been Christians. Fairly committed to the faith, swearing to the Bible, to serve the country well. And sometimes there's even a big debate between, even if there's a big ceremony, if traditional religion should be allowed to come, because it's not even clean enough. There's no space for traditional religion. It's all Christian and Christ. No problem. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just asking that, so where are the Christians? Folks, students attending Scripture Union, every night they are on the park, jumping up and down and reaching up to all high and all holiness. Yet, that same student sees no problem in examination or practices. You go to a school, and the school has got this big signboard, His Royal Holiness, something, JSS, Mary ascending, Jesus coming. They have all these big Christian signs and everything. This is a Christian school. And yet still, when it gets to examination, that same school with Mary coming, Jesus going signboard would go and buy apple, as they say, for the students. It's not seen as any wrongdoing. Gambling is crippling in at a fast and absolutely alarming rate, and still no alarm bells ringing. Yet we are all in church. Folks, even reckless lifestyles. Look at the reckless lifestyle. Look at the gone too soons. Surely that's not the age that was given to Christians to live. Gone too soon, 40, gone too soon, 50, just 60 grand and watch it. Gone too soon. So you're asking, folks, so then where are the Christians? Where are the Christians that we are dying? Look at the numbers that are dying on the roads. Can that be godly? Can that be the portion of Christians? Look at the impatience on the road. Look at the impatience, the rudeness on the road. And everybody breaking the law with absolute in-your-face impunity. But guess what? We are all in church, devout, filled with the Spirit, falling down and tripping over, and the ushers would have to come and cover you up and everything. But still, Christians don't find a filthy country as a sin. We don't find filth as a sin. But you know something? Should you get cholera, they are the first to come and pray for you. Because the demon of cholera should leave you. And yet, that same energy to live in a clean country doesn't seem to register. Just look at the teenage pregnancy records. It's like something out of a Nigerian movie, like just somebody just concocted the numbers. There are countries who do not spend half the time we do in church, don't spend a quarter of the time we do praying, but don't have this kind of record. They do not have this kind of record. But maybe, I'm an idealist or naive, but, we were brought up, my book of Bible stories, even though, whether fortunately or unfortunately, thinking that Israel and Egypt and Jerusalem were all in heaven and everything. So all things were holy. And so we seem to expect that once you were committed to that faith, there should be some uprightness attached to it. So maybe those days are gone. But we just thought that once you were going to live that Christ-like, follow the things Christ did, then as a country, we should have seen it like that. Christ was very particular about protecting of children. Christ was, particular about paying taxes, honoring those who should be honored. And so you come back and you ask, where are the Christians? Is it that the Bible has now been changed and that we are not aware? Are they using a new book, or is it the same old book that we are aware of? And one unfortunate thing is that life is so dynamic. Life keeps changing. Things are being added and subtracted and added and subtracted. And so we seem to be so fixated and locked in the Bible era. And therefore, you go to church, and the pastor is not able to tell you that do not overspeed, because when the Bible was written, everybody was on a horse or a donkey. Nobody was riding 100 kilometers an hour. But now times have changed, and you are in the car, and somehow within the church, we need to move to today's time and be able to tell Christians that, listen, if it's 50 and you do 100, you're going against the laws of the town. And if you're going against the laws of the town, it's not very Christ-like. And because we are unable to bring, the Bible into 2021, we are still stuck in BC 400 and BC where, Pharaoh was chasing Moses in chariots. Today, nobody has a chariot. So the rules would have changed. And if we Christians don't change and add, maybe we can't rewrite the Bible or add things to the Bible, but if we don't tell people this, and that's why I keep saying hello to my friend, Bishop Samuel Mensah. Because you go to his church and you think you're listening to the news bulletin. Because he sort of preaches in today's world. Bring the preaching to today's world. Because you realize that what we are all doing, because of that Bible era fixation thing, we are able to enter the church and become Christians. But as soon as you leave the church and you come out, of course there was no traffic light in the Bible. So if you see a red light, you drive through, because, Moses never stopped at the red light. David never stopped at the red light. So if I run through it, it's not marked in my book in heaven. So if we don't contextualize, if Christians don't move into the 21st century and even further, the internet bullying is wrong. So if children are in Sunday school today and they are not being taught that internet bullying is a sin, they don't see it as a sin. On fan count. And see, because the confusion, basa. And the reason why people are staying away from church today, it's not because of what some Muslim did. It's not because of what some atheists did, but because of what some Christians do. And so people just tell something, as for this, I'm better off at home. So the religion that was supposed to be a way of life, reaching out, the whole idea was that you should be useful to your environment. The whole idea of Christianity was that you have to be useful in any way to your environment, that we all live for one another. But look at us. Family, they are going to school, they are going to work. Mother in front, father driving, kids at the back. And that morning, the devotion tape is in there, and they are all filled with the Spirit, and there's a worship song, and they're going, and they drop the kids in school, and by exams time, they will pay for the kids to have some apport to do the exam. The mom is going to work, gets there, gets a little bit of brown envelope before he pushes a file through. The father is even worse. And yet still every morning, they are spiritually charged. So I'm asking, is there a way we can bring that spiritually holiness charge into real life? So you get to a junction that you can just spare 3 seconds for the car to go. You go to Pombaria, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing. Look, if the policeman doesn't stand there, right, nobody is prepared to give the other just 3 seconds. I mean, how long would it take a car to drive past the junction? 3, 5, or 5 seconds? No way. We would all stand there, block the road. Are you telling me all these people are not in the church one way or the other? They don't come from a mosque or a church or been to a school. So what then happens? When we leave the church and we come out, what happens? Because clearly, if you are in a church and somebody comes, you're sitting on a bench, you quickly move to the side and I could see, move to the side, come and sit next to me. But as soon as they leave the church, I don't know what happens. Monday they get to work. It's the same thing. You call them. And this is like you want a government service. And you have to be begging and pleading. This. And the guy has been paid for the work, everything. But you have to beg and beg and beg and beg before the guy will just come and provide you the service for which he's been paid for, and taxes have been paid for. Making or your sector elder, sorry. So today I'm asking that where are the Christians? Because surely it doesn't look like a Christian nation. Or call me an idealist. But the little I know, standing back and looking at what I'm seeing, it just looks like some chaotic nation. It looks very chaotic. Lies, dishonesty, no commitment, no enthusiasm. It's not my work. Midday, my mother said, sorry, to go and pray. And we are all in churches praying for jobs that don't even exist. And ironically, we are all praying, most of us are praying for visas so we can leave this God-forsaken country. And we go to countries that don't have churches, don't pray as much. We are leaving this church-filled, prayer-filled country. And people even want to go to Libya. They will walk. People would walk to Libya. No church, no prayer all night business. But they would walk. And so if we sit down and we reflect, then is it really just the church and just the prayer thing that we want? Or we want that comfortable, easy, fulfilling life? So folks, today I am just thinking aloud. I don't have an opinion. I'm really just thinking aloud. That where are the Christians? If indeed we call ourselves a Christian nation, I'm away. I mean, look at the governmental sector. I mean, total mess. And they give you so much disrespect. Just as MBSC, you listen to the response and you think, Jesus Christ, was that the response? And then you come down to the average guy who are also hustling, to make a living. Somebody's invested, created a job. He's giving this guy an opportunity. Somebody's bought an Uber car, giving you the opportunity. Somebody's bought a truck, giving you the opportunity. And you just, rubbish it in his face. Me was Sunday sharp. No, I'm kind of a purpose. I'm not kind of the kind. They will come first to come and sweep the church and tidy up, and they are there. So, folks, I don't know who I'm even speaking to. Whether some church fraternity will sit down and re-look at how it is we look at Christianity again. Maybe we have to re-look at it. maybe we have to re-look at it. Look at all the stories, what David did, then maybe David threw a catapult to, maybe today we have to write AK-47 there. David shot Goliath with the AK. I mean, let's maybe bring the stories to 2021. Because if we keep saying to catapult, yes, we are still stuck there. And so the modern things that society through its dynamism have introduced, we can't relate to them as being right or wrong. And a ball try baby and say traffic just to stop 3 seconds. Now we will block the road 3 hours near now unless sometimes it's so amazing, right? You go there and there's a V8 and the patrols and the Mercedes and the BMW all clustered though. And then you see some guy coming and clearly his lifestyle is not as those living in these luxury cars. He breaks a neem tree, comes to stand on the road. Hey, you go back, you do this, and we all obey. We all obey this guy with his neem tree. Go back. And so as long as he stands there, we will obey and the traffic will move. So we clock the road again. Jesus Christ. We can't live like that and still call ourselves Christians. So I'm asking, where are the Christians? 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. We have done enough fasting in our lifetime. We have done enough praying in our lifetime. I'm not saying we should stop fasting and praying, but can we please introduce that practicality of the modern day life into the Christian worship? Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, thanks for this program. And it's a question all of us are asking almost every day. But you see, Christianity is an individual affair. It's never a mass movement. Mm-hmm. It is between an individual who wants to follow Christ. Not everybody who goes to church or does all those religious things is necessarily a Christian. And it's not something you can enforce on somebody. And then secondly, if you read the parable of some of the parables of Jesus, mm-hmm. especially they call the parable of the wheat and tares, and then the parable of the net. You see, the Christianity draws people into the circle, and only a few of the people in it are committed to following Christ. So what is happening? It's shocking, but it will happen. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. But I know not everybody is a Christian, but once we get in there, can we, for want of a better word, indoctrinate us to go out to be good citizens, just for want of a better word? Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. This is Edward Kwao.
Edward, let me hear you.
Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
I'm very grateful for such a topic that you have brought up. In fact, Nana, the question that you are asking, which is, where is the Christian? The reason why you are even asking that question in this country that we call a Christian country is that we as Christians are just hypocrites. That is it. In fact, Nana, I was not feeling well recently, and I'm in school. So one of these church, they are in the school. They will be praying. So he got my number and he decided to call to check up on me. So whilst we were talking, he could sense that I am not feeling well, and he asked me the problem, and I told him I'm not feeling well. I have cold and this thing. So he started to pray for me. And then whilst he was praying, I could see that I am not well. But this guy is trying to tell me that the prayer can work. So he prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And then later on, he continued to ask me, are you okay now? Then I would say, I'm not okay. Then he would pray again and he would pray again. So it got to a time that I told him that I have a medicine I would like to take. So allow me to take this medicine and see whether it will be okay. Nana, do you know what the guy told me? He said, I shouldn't take any medicine because if I take a medicine and I get healed, I wouldn't be able to identify whether it is God who saved me or it is the medicine. You see the problem? We as a Christian, we are even getting ourselves confused about what God has given to us as man, to come actually use to help individuals on this planet. God has given us wisdom to be able to produce medicine so that we can use it to, heal these our health implications that will come our way. God is there; He will heal us, but through man, God heals us. But look at what the pastor is saying. So I am saying this because these Christians that we are looking for, that is why you have asked us that question. They are the hypocrites among us. They are the political leaders who are residing abroad, and their animals are here, allowing the citizens to suffer. So, Nana, they are not everywhere. They are among us. They are actually among us, but they are just hypocrites. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you too for listening, and thank you for calling 0302 216 541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, hello, Nana. This is Nkansa from Agogo in the Asante.
Nkansa, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, what the simple answer to the question you're asking, where are the Christians, is that there's no Christian in this country. Because the same people that are in the church are the same people that are committing the crimes. So nowadays, it looks like we are going to the church because others are going, all the people in the house, they are moving to church. Therefore, we also have to go to church. Because we are not practicing nothing from the Bible. And that is a very worrisome thing in the country. Because you go to the various offices, the same people who are, I know some deacons and deaconesses, some church elders in some offices. When you go, and even if your promotion time is due, go to hell and come. If you don't pay something, your letter will remain on their table till you pay before your salary is being upgraded. And this is very challenging, and it is something that needs to be dealt with now. And for me, what I can say is that in this country, even if God is descending now, only few, about 10% of the entire population will go to heaven. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening to 0302 216 541. Let me hear your thoughts. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Kenneth.
Ken, let me hear you.
I'm very glad and very happy with the kind of program you guys are having. But I, for once, stopped going to church because of a particular reason. That was an elder. He's still an elder. And we all used to go to church. So one time, there was a lady in the church who came to my father to make a very serious complaint. So this lady was in the village. And one of the elders have gone for the lady in the village and brought her to their house to take care of her. They dress up and come to church. They don't come to church with the lady. They starve her. They tell her to do, just like a slave. And upon hearing the story, this is an elder who comes to the church to come and stand in front of the church and preach. And because of security reasons, I won't mention the name of the church, but comes to preach, tell us all sorts of things and what we should do. And backdoor, they are going to take someone from the village and treating the person like a slave. See, upon hearing this story, I told myself, because even me, myself alone, looking at the kind of life I live at workplace and how I deal with people and all, I honestly don't see the reason why I should waste my time. I call it time wasting. Waste my time, dress up and go and sit in the church.
Thank you very much. And I'm saying that the reason why some people are leaving the church is not because of non-Christians, but because of Christians. So it's very important that we really rethink how it is that we introduce this into our daily lives, which is supposed to be a way of life anyway. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir. Okay, speak up for me. Who am I talking to?
Shem from
let me hear you, my brother.
So we are talking about it.
Come again.
Are we limiting it to Christianity in Ghana?
Yes, we're listening to Christianity today. Don't worry, we'll be having the term, but we're listening to Christianity because we are the majority, So we are taking our share of the blame.
So what I have to say is that we are all aware.
Oh, Shem, your line is so bad. Shem, your line is so bad. Try and call back. Your line is so bad. But even though I'm saying I'm limited to Christian, hey, these people in traffic, they are not all from the church. There are some from the mosque as well who should also know better. I'm just probably, saying Christianity because of the majority. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, good evening. This is Kofi.
Kofi, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, how are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah, once again, another interesting topic, and I just support some of the callers, especially, I think the first two. It is very true that the politicians go to church. They all go and kneel down. They go to the mosque. The mosque is inclusive. You can also add it. Because today it's not only the church.
Sure.
You see al-hajis, you see imams doing all kinds of wrong things. Some even call themselves malams. And they are even claiming to charm money. And the chief imam, nobody says anything. So, the religion, Karl Marx said that religion is the opium of the masses. It's like a drug. Everybody is looking for answers. I mean, if something is going wrong with you, if you are growing old, you will get medical problems. No doubt about that. You are going to grow old, no matter what, and you will die. People are so scared to even die. To the extent that a pastor will tell them that you can see, you can do this, you can do that, then they are claiming money for it. Come and give them money because you can see. I mean, instead of going to appreciate God, go and give money to a needy person. Somebody has money, has a Range Rover, a Land Cruiser, lives in Trafalgar Valley, takes your money, your tithe, goes to open a bank, saves in a bank, you go and borrow your own money. People can't see these things. Sometimes I wonder, they are part of the boards, and they're just extorting money. So everything that they would do to extort money, that is what they are doing. Because when I was growing up, we were taught values, salvation. I grew up in a village. But when I came to Accra, it's all about money. Everywhere you go, it is money. And they will siphon everything from you, and people are not seeing it. I wonder. So, Nana, they can never ever teach people what they are supposed to learn. As you're saying, for instance, the road regulations, you go to work, you don't have to take bribe. Because if you don't take bribe, how can you get money to give to the pastor? And there are Christians in there. Go to the ministries, as you said. You will find deacons, Christians, you will find catechists, you will find even the pastors. Some are working. Everywhere you go, they are there. And they are the cause of our problems because they don't teach the people what they are supposed to teach them. All the things that they teach is about prosperity, and what betides you if you speak. If you speak, either they expel you from the church or they find every means possible to make you look devilish. Even if they are making noise in your neighborhood and you speak about it, they say you are a witch. I always say, God drove Satan from heaven, and Satan is on the earth. You're going to spend your entire life fighting Satan. You will die. Satan will still be here. You seek salvation. You're supposed to do things that will make the nation prosper, progress. Look at Japan, a Buddhist nation. You can put your money down, you go and come and meet your money. Ghana, Christian nation, Muslim nation. Both the Bible and the Quran is against stealing. Nana, just come out of Joy FM, put your money down there, even on the compound. Your colleagues will take it.
And the good people will say, Amen. The number is 0. People say, Nana, I want the call line. It's 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you asking where are the Christians? We are here. I mean, you are a Christian, right, Nana?
Yes.
So am I. So we are here. What have we done this time around? What is the question about, Nana?
Well, we are looking at our nation and asking ourselves as Christians if we have done the nation good.
Exactly, Nana. The Christians are here. We are the reason why the nation is moving forward. I mean, we Christians in Ghana, we are the reason why the nation is moving forward. We are the majority here. And the fact that there are some Christians who are not living up to a certain standard doesn't mean there are no Christians here. There are Christians in this nation. And I'm one of them, and so are you.
And I'm sure when you say
we are the change agents in this nation.
So when you say moving forward, I'm sure one of my listeners will say, name one sector that you can say, oh, Nana, as for this sector, because of Christianity, this sector is doing very well. So if you can give us one sector, we'll go with you.
What I mean is that if there is any sector at all moving forward, it's because there are Christians there.
And which sector? I mean, do you know any? Because I'm struggling. Education, agriculture.
You any sector in Ghana here moving forward?
Yeah, we live in a country, so you can tell me that maybe because of Christian, maybe churches or the religious faith is doing well. Maybe schools are doing well. Maybe the road sector, agric sector, finance sector, education sector, something. Just tell me something that you think.
What I mean is that every sector that is moving on, every sector that is doing well, is because there are Christians there.
Thank you very much. 0302 216 541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening, Nana. Abu Muhammad, I'm calling from Japan.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, you see, many a time I tell many of my Muslim brothers that if you see anybody attacking Islam, please don't fight me. Because we use the religion to cover our hypocrisy. You see, when we come to like marrying four, as Muslims, we are quick to say, oh, the Quran says you can marry four. But this same Quran says when you cause fornication, you should be given 100 lashes. We've never applied that one. This same Quran says when you steal, they will chop off your hand. Whose hand have you seen has been chopped off? So we use the religion to cover our evil deeds. We took the easy part of the religion, and the difficult ones we cannot apply them. So after that, things fall apart. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for calling 0302 216 541. Hello, who's talking to me?
This is Kobna.
Kobna, let me hear you.
Hey, Nana, I think the Christians are around, and like the other caller said, he is one, you are one, and I'm also one. But it appears you are overblowing the issue.
Okay.
You know, to me, Christianity is a faith, right? It's a faith like the other religions, like Buddhism and all that.
But shouldn't it reflect in our way of life?
Yes, but it's not right to put all the burden on faith. I understand. Like the other guy said, God has given us the brain. That's the brain. It's a very powerful machine, and the brain must reflect in changes in society. So let's say you get to a junction where we need to stop for each other to go, right? And we learn this in the classroom, you know, how to express empathy, all these values. So to me, I don't think we need to put all the burden on Christianity. The burden should be put on what we have learned from class 1. What kind of instruction that we receive from class 1 as we progress the educational ladder. And that's where the emphasis must be.
Okay.
I understand. Okay. We need to hold ourselves accountable. How do we do that? Let us not rely on Christianity. Like I always say, Christianity complements our lives. It's not the whole thing. So we need to re-engineer our society, you know, and put in the kind of instructions that will make us a good people so that we can be able to make the necessary changes that we need to do to move the country forward. If we put our burden on faith, then we are not doing the.
I want to agree with you there because I know that, you know, we derive our morals from our ancestry and not necessarily from our religion, you know. But I was just thinking that even if our ancestry had certain morals, with the practice of Christianity and the Christ followers, I thought it would have enhanced our ancestral morality more rather than reduce it. Hello, who am I talking to?
Yes, you're talking to Bright. You said it all, Nana. You said it all.
Right, good evening.
I'm a Christian myself. You ask a certain Christian, he should show you one of the sector which is doing right. He couldn't, so he hung up, didn't he? Nana, in fact, we are doomed in this part of the world. We are very doomed because 98% of the populace changing faculty is very, very dead. We don't go to church, but sometimes most of the Christians are not correct Christians. We said it already. Nothing is working well. Even if they are a Christian, they are not doing the correct thing. When you see the red light, you jump in. When you, I don't know. Yes.
Thank you very much. Wow, great topic. They even leave someone who's sick, who needs help to go to church or Christian meetings or whatever. They all wasting time, resources that goes into their worship. They all claim to worship God, especially the so-called Christian, making so much noise. They want to take bribe for everything. Work they have been paid for to do, as you mentioned. They send you a message from controller and accountant general that they can help you to get your salary increment and arrears, and the list is as tall as something. They are simply fake. Religion itself, promising heaven and good life, is a scam. They are hypocrite. Thank you so much for this topic. Good evening. Ifya Yeb in Osu. Hello, Nana. Christians and their normal life routines are detrimental personalities. No convergence whatsoever. Diametrical personalities. No convergence or whatever. We don't understand the term Christianity in the first place. Let's go back to the word of God, to the commandment that Jesus gave to Peter. Good evening. And this is Anna Awiti. It has been a wonderful show. It has been a great show. But I'm calling on all Christianity, particularly the big ones, to sit down and start re-looking at how the faith is taught. Go back to Sunday school and reorient them. Let them understand that holiness is more into their day-to-day practice rather than just in church giving your brother a chair, or the one who was first to fall down when the pastor did, that sort of thing. So that when we leave church, when we are on the road, when we are in the market, when we are in the queue, the courtesy not to cross the queue, even just to buy a simple watch, all tells us that otherwise we will be here with the label as Christians, and other nations and other faiths would overtake us. I'm not saying that we are better than anybody or somebody is better than that, but we have to compete to do good, and we should be up there with the big boys. My name is Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwamu Edumasa. And while we are looking for our fellow Christians, I say until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Maxwell Agbagba is up with the news bulletin. Kofi Hayford will be here. In fact, very apt because all the Christians, stay tuned because Kofi Hayford is coming with nice, good, godly music. Monday we'll be back to do this all over again, and big thanks to Abeku Sankofi.